Kashish.
Good evening, sir. Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
So, what did Raja Bhoj do that Rani Kamlavati did not? You're from Bhopal, right?
Sir, I'm not from.
I know, but you studied there in DPS,
Yes, sir.
and then after that you joined the competitive National Law University,
Yes, sir.
right?
Yes, sir.
Tell me.
So, what did Raja Bhoj do that Rani Kamlavati did not? Sir, I'm aware that Raja Bhoj is celebrated in Bhopal because it is said that he laid the foundation of Bhopal, but I'm not aware about Rani Kamlavati. Sorry, sir, I'll have to read up on it.
You haven't gone up the hill to see Kamlavati's area, the tribal queen.
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay, doesn't matter, don't worry. Tell me, you've got into the most prestigious National Law University by exam, right?
Yes.
And the hottest topic right now is the criminal justice system being reformed totally.
Yes, sir.
Nyaya Sanhita, Saksh and Nyaya
Yes, sir.
Suraksha. Answer me 2 points. Do you think, of course it's laudable that the change is there. What exactly is the change we should celebrate, number one? And what are the concerns we should feel a little thoughtful about?
So, sir, 3 laws have been passed: Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, Bharatiya Nyaya Nagrik Suraksha Sanhita, and Bharatiya Sakshi Sanhita.
Okay.
And there are issues with all 3 and some points to be celebrated with all 3. I'll go in order of that. So, BNS, Nyaya Sanhita, what should be celebrated is the addition of certain provisions which will make terrorism a crime, which will make organized crime a crime, and they have also made amendments to the definition of a child. They have added a whole new chapter related to crimes against women and children. Those points must be celebrated. Concerns with regard to Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, according to me, are so there is a lot of overlap with some special laws. For example, with FSSAI Act, there is overlap with the NDPS Act. There is overlap with
Terrorism.
yes, sir, UAPA Act. However, and coming to the next code, the Nagrik Suraksha Sanhita. Firstly, what should be celebrated is the addition of forensic investigation, and another point to be celebrated is the timelines that they have introduced. They have significantly cut down on the time limit with regard to the trial period. So that must be celebrated. Concerns with regard to Nagrik Sanhita are there is one problem that they have made: the plea bargaining provisions and the bail provisions much more strict. So that's going to lead to congestion in jails. And with regard to the rights of the accused, there are issues. So coming to the final code, the Nagrik, the Sakshi Sanhita, what should be celebrated is the addition of the provision wherein electronic evidence is admissible. And the concern for Sakshi Sanhita is the same point, sir. The courts on several occasions have raised doubts regarding the fact that electronic evidence can be tampered with. So they haven't really defined what a document which is an electronic evidence will conclusively entail, and how can there be safeguards included within the code to fight with tampering of those evidences. That is coming. So thoughts are allowed, but your reaction, your response to those thoughts has to be very balanced.
Okay. Shall I?
Kashish, let me get you back to, on feet, on the ground. There has been Government of India's policy of Act East and Neighborhood First. Has it only remained a slogan, or some action has been done on this? And where are we on this?
So, we have been working on Act East, and in terms of concrete measures, we have the Kaladan multimodal project, we have India, Myanmar, Thailand connectivity projects which are in the works. They have not been completed yet. We have FTAs with all Asian nations. We are trading partners with all of them. Recently, we are also trying to engage with them on strategic security based issues with regard to South China Sea and Chinese aggression there. So we have been working on the Act East policy, but I think there is scope for improvement. And I would go back to the points that I've already mentioned. The multimodal projects that we've undertaken and the I'm sorry, sir. These projects can be revamped and more life can be given into them, and we can engage more. I believe we can engage with East more on our cultural ties, and our soft power is not as well enhanced in the East as it is in the Western nations.
Tell me, is there any very successful model which is working in the East?
So it is the export-led model of development, where they produce for the world, and that has led to their GDP growing exponentially. It has worked very well for them, and we are trying to incorporate the Vietnam model or the Bangladesh model now for an export-led economic system, where right now we are not even manufacturing for ourselves. Our manufacturing GVA has been stagnant at 17 to 20% since 1991. So we really need to take cue from those countries.
How about BIMSTEC? You didn't mention BIMSTEC.
Yes, sir. BIMSTEC.
What does it do?
So BIMSTEC has sort of brought Thailand and Myanmar into our neighborhood, and we are working with them in terms of motorability and connectivity as of now.
What does it stand for, BIMSTEC? Do you know full form?
Yes, sir. I'm aware. I will just take a second to recall.
Please do.
Sir, it's. Sir, I'm not able to recall right now.
Now, tell me this, again coming back to your main education law, is it mandatory to abide by the ICJ decisions, International Court of Justice?
So only for nations. So ICJ begins its trial after explicit consent has been taken from the two parties, and on several occasions, even after the consent has been provided, their rulings are not adhered to. But in theory,
can you give an example of that? Not being adhered to. One or two examples. Very close at home.
Yes, sir. So the ICJ judgment for the Kashmir issue was that a referendum should be done for the people of Kashmir, and we did not abide by that.
What else? Second?
Sir.
Go beyond the borders.
Yes, sir. So another direction was that both armies should retrieve from the LOC, and we also did not abide by that, and for them to give up the Pakistan occupied region.
Anything in South China Sea?
So in South China Sea, I'm aware of the UNCLOS rulings that they have passed 2 rulings, and China has not adhered to both of them, despite China being a signatory and ratification of UNCLOS.
Scarborough Shoal.
Yes, sir?
Scarborough Shoal.
Yes, sir.
That is right.
Yes.
Last question. Can you give examples of ICJ judgment which India has implemented? 1 or 2.
So
You said not implemented. Now tell me which are those India has implemented. Not very far, just 3-4 years ago. Okay, the exclusive economic zone between India and Bangladesh.
okay. Yes.
We give
I'll read on this, sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll call you back in 2 minutes for your feedback.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
तुम तो अपने दिल में कोई कशिश मलाल मत रखो because you have done brilliantly well, okay? And your diverse range of interests are simply intriguing. I mean, how you have the time to pursue everything. And also let me tell you that you don't have to know everything, you know. It's the way you answer and give your opinion, share your thoughts, you know, your faculties at your command, how you utilize them. That's very, very important. So even in CRELJ, there are a few points which you missed. It really doesn't matter because you give the most important ones. So you should have added a few, you know, and you know what, if you go home, you'll immediately get that. So Rato, 7-8 Ratlo, and then a few odd, also you have to give negative points, right? Otherwise they'll think you're already joined the government.
Yes,
Right?
Yes.
So, you know, a few negative ones which are there. For
Yes, sir.
example, you know, police custody is there, then you have also other things.
Yes,
I won't waste your time here. And the other thing is that there are so many areas they can ask you question on. That's a problem, in fact. That's the only problem I see, because there are so many areas and somebody should get into one area very deep,
Yes,
you
sir.
know. So that is one thing you have to see. So keep on studying more, and we are extremely happy with your year. And I think they'll add something.
You are very good. Your chain of thoughts are excellent. Your knowledge is very diversified. Your demeanor, your everything is good. I just thought that the conventional wisdom is that one question should be done in 1 minute, of which the 3 most important answers should come out in 30 seconds.
Yes, sir.
It makes an impact. When I asked the difference between the philosophies of Hegel and Schopenhauer, it was a little longer,
Yes,
too windy, and you realize that the other person who is listening, he is not familiar with these topics. So you have to bring down to a level where you can explain in simpler terms.
Yes,
But that's on the philosophy, which is always abstruse and complicated,
Yes.
but outstanding, very good. And use your strength as your leverage, you know, English Olympiad, and you can always divert the questions or take them towards that side.
Yes, sir.
Even
But,
Vipassana.
Yeah,
Excellent.
yeah, all that will be coming. Be ready for that. Whatever you have written, they will pick up something from there.
Yes,
Or you can guide them. It's called lead the interview,
yes.
if you
Yeah.
can. And when is your interview?
So it hasn't been, the date
So you have a
hasn't.
lot of time.
Yes,
And another thing, you know, be very confident.
Yeah.
Don't be very diffident. It's very good because your
Emphatic.
grooming is so good that you are, you know, very polite, very. But answer it freely. Give
Yes.
your opinion. Sometimes assert. Sometimes yes, sir. I mean, I feel that this can be done.
Okay.
Right?
Yes, sir.
No. You want to use your hand somewhere, do it.
Okay.
No.
Little emphatic. You know it. Just take it from us that you know it. So whatever you say, emphatically.
You've given a very good account here. We are
Yeah.
very happy.
Thank you.
You want to ask us anything? You're most welcome.
No, sir.
No?
Thank you.
Okay, go happy.
Thank you,
Okay.
sir.
All right.
Thank
All
you.
the best.
All
Thank
the
you
best.
so much,
All the
sir.
best.
Thank you, sir.